We're still getting some remnants and comments about the Super Bowl, the Eagles. Really, Christian, it's interesting. The discussion regarding the Lions' competitiveness against the Eagles has taken on a life of its own. You get Amon-Ra St. Brown saying that the healthy Lions team in 2025 going out to Lincoln Financial would potentially have an opportunity to compete and play well. And Darius Slay, a Super Bowl champion, former Detroit Lions player, said, look, the Eagles deserve a lot of respect. And in talking about his own team, this team, he said, look, you can't really discuss where your team is at based on a new season when there's new players and everything like that. And he claps back at Amon-Ra St. Brown, indicates that, hey, look, this Eagles team was top five in a lot of metrics. They were a good football team that was relatively healthy. And I thought the line that he said in his Big Play Slay podcast recap after winning the Super Bowl was he felt the Rams were more competitive than the Lions could be. And no, and then there is a lot of injuries, but he got to see the Rams firsthand. What did you make of Darius Slay? Clapping back a little bit at Amon-Ra St. Brown, who naturally is competitive and feels the Lions could compete with the Eagles.
Yeah, and I can't fault either one of those guys because on one end you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who believes that the Lions, when fully healthy, would have challenged the Eagles and potentially made the Super Bowl. And then on the other end, you have the guy that won the Super Bowl and in the Philadelphia Eagles and Darius Slay. So, I see both sides of that argument, and I think that the Lions, if fully healthy, do compete with the Eagles. I think they had one of the best rosters in the NFL, if not the best roster, before the injuries started to pick away at their depth. And so I think that if everybody's healthy going into the playoffs, guys like Aiden Hutchinson and things of that nature, then yes, the Lions do compete and potentially defeat the Philadelphia Eagles and go to the Super Bowl. But that's just not the way things panned out. And I do think that Darius Slay has a valid argument when he discussed the fact that, yeah, you can beat us next year, but it will not be the same team. And you can't say that you would have beaten us because you didn't. And now we're going to have a different team in 2025 due to free agency and the draft and all the different things that come along with the offseason. So I do think both players are correct in their arguments. And I think that the unfortunate thing for the Lions is, the injuries, yes, they played a factor. But at the end of the day, nobody feels sorry for them and they don't get a pass because they had the injuries. And unfortunately, the 2024 season will just be known as a what if for the Detroit Lions. And hopefully they get better injury luck in 2025 because a lot of that talent is coming back. And you're going to have a really solid roster once again. And the hope is that you don't have to sit back at the end of the year and have these same arguments because you're the ones on top. And so, credit to Darius Slay, he's a Super Bowl champion, and he did show some love to Detroit on that podcast. But I think, unfortunately for the Lions, they'll never get that shot to prove what could have been. And that's just the way the ball bounces in the NFL. So, all you can do if you're a Detroit fan is hope for better luck next year when it comes to injuries and all that.